What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. I'm gonna break down the fight between Canelo Alvarez against Danny the Miracle Man Jacobs. Post-fight analysis on the fight. First of all, anytime you get two counter punches in the ring, sometimes it's going to be a fight that's not for the casual fan that's looking for a lot of action, rock 'em, sock 'em, robots type of fight where, the guys landing punches on each other at will and not too much defense, and this is a battle of nutrition. Who can take the most punishment and fire off the most punishment, that type of fight, man. This was not that type of fight, man. It was a very, very, very tactical fight. It had its moments where both guys kind of traded, and they produced some exciting moments, but for the most part, it was a very tactical fight. Not a fight that's going to go down in the memory books as far as great middleweight championship level fights. But I thought Canelo fought good, man. First of all, give both guys credit. Both guys came in with a belt. Both guys were champions at 160-pound middleweight division, and it was good to see these type of fights happen simply for the fact that you want to get one face, one name, one champion, as Deontay Wilder says, in the middleweight division. This took us a step closer to getting that one face, one name, one champion. We got one other fighter out there with a belt, and that's Demetrius Boo Boo Andre, and hopefully we can get that matchup with Canelo Alvarez next, but I'm not holding my breath. I don't think that's going to be the next fight. But as far as this fight goes, Canelo fought a beautiful fight, man. Beautiful fight. Great head movement. Great defense. He showed great defense, man, in this fight. He didn't show that much in the last fight when he fought Triple G in a rematch. Triple G was able to hit him and connect at a very high percentage as far as when he threw his punches. But in this fight here, man, he did a good job of head movement, man, and rolling punches, man. He did a good job, man. He's learned. You can tell he's done a lot of tape of watching Mayweather. He was in the ring with Mayweather, and he studied Mayweather's style, man. He does a good job of rolling punches, kind of getting that crab shell defense, making himself small, making himself a small target, making himself hard to hit. In the first half of the fight, Canelo did a good job of backing Danny up, man, getting him against the ropes, and he was able to fire off combination. Did a good job of digging to the body with single body shots. Did a good job of going up top, man, and he did a good job of getting his combinations off. Early on in the fight, Danny Jacobs was able to kind of use his jab, but I didn't think he used it enough. But when he did use it, he was able to kind of keep Canelo Alvarez defensive. He kept shooting that jab, man. But the problem is when he shoots his jab, man, it's nothing fluid about Danny Jacobs' jab. His jab is more like he's pushing it out there. It's not natural. You don't have a jab like a Demetrius Andre jab or even a Jamal Charlo jab. His jab is more of a push jab. And that's especially in the second half of the fight, Canelo Alvarez was able to kind of take that jab away with head movement. He was able to counter and come over the top when he did shoot that jab. When he shot the jab when he was in the orthodox stand, he's shooting that left jab. Canelo was able to come with overhand right and catch Jacobs in spots in that fight. And then when he switched it up and went to southpaw, he was able to catch him when he was shooting that right jab. He was able to come with a left hook to Jacobs' body and a left hook up top to catch Jacobs, man. He fought a beautiful fight, man. I thought Jacobs did come on strong. I think the first 6-7 rounds, I thought Canelo won probably 6 of the first 7 rounds, man. He fought a beautiful fight, beautiful exhibition of counter punching, a beautiful exhibition of head movement, going to the body, backing Danny up. He did a good job of actually closing the distance, and he was able to fire off his combination, man. He fought a beautiful fight. Outside of maybe the first 2 or 3 rounds, when the jab was kind of bothering Canelo was able to kind of take that away, especially in the second half of the fight. But in the second half of the fight, I thought Danny just did not let his hands go. He wasn't busy enough. He tried to. I guess he thought he could outbox Canelo. He tried to shoot his jab out there. It was kind of working earlier, but even earlier in the fight, he was not using it enough. And then Canelo took that away as he started timing the jab, coming with a countering off the jab, and then he kind of made Danny hesitant to throw the jab. In the second half of the fight, I thought Danny got a little bit more aggressive, start coming forward. He knew he's gonna take some punishment coming forward, but he was able to go to the body and he was able to get his shots off, man, up top. And I think he caught Canelo with a beautiful left hook in the second half of that fight. And I think he stunned Canelo, but Canelo did a good job of kind of holding that, having that poker face. Didn't let Danny Jacobs know that he was hurt, but I think he actually was hurt because after he got caught with that left hook, he kind of kept his guard up. Canelo, he kept giving head movement and all that, but you notice he didn't throw any punches for about like 20-25 seconds of that round. He didn't throw any punches. He was just basically just kind of he had that poker face, and he was just basically head movement. He didn't let his punches go. So that should have let Danny know that he was hurt, or at least he was stunned, and Danny Jacobs should have stepped on the gas pedal and tried to get some power punches off and see if he could maybe hurt Canelo and maybe drop Canelo. But he didn't do that. He kind of got back into his back into his technical style, and he was able to let Canelo kind of recover, and then Canelo went back to work later on in that round. So I just thought it was just a beautiful display by Canelo. Jacob, he didn't get hurt in the fight. He was able to do some good things, especially in the second half of the fight. But the problem with Danny Jacobs is he doesn't have it's nothing special about him. He's a good, solid fighter, B-level fighter, but he doesn't have that fifth gear. Like I was saying in my preview of the fight a couple of days ago when I was analyzing this fight, Jacobs doesn't have that. When you have say you got 5 gears in your car, you got a stick, 5 gears. It's like he goes to 3rd gear, but he doesn't have that gear where he can go to the 4th gear or the 5th gear. He doesn't have that. Canelo has that. Canelo has he's an elite fighter. Canelo is the best fighter at middleweight. I had my reservations about Canelo, how great a fighter he was. I always thought he was good, but I ain't never think he was elite until it actually was a Cotto fight. When he beat Cotto, I said, oh no, this guy's special. He's an elite fighter. Because Cotto at that time, people sleeping on Cotto. Cotto at that time had beat Sergio Martinez in a masterpiece performance. He dominated Sergio. Everybody was like, Sergio had a bad knee and a bad leg and this and that. Okay, he might have did have that, but the previous fight, before he fought Cotto, Sergio looked good, man. He dominated Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. for 11 rounds, got hurt in the 12th round, was able to recover, and he put on a masterful boxing performance against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So he was coming off a beautiful fight in that fight. So I don't know if he hurt that knee in training camp. I don't know what the case was, but bottom line is Cotto dominated a pound for pound top 3 fighter behind Pacquiao, Mayweather, and Sergio Martinez. So when he fought Cotto, I thought when Cotto fought Canelo, I predicted that fight. I predicted that Cotto was going to win that fight. I thought he was going to outbox Canelo. Canelo was going to be over aggressive, and he was going to be able to catch him with counter punches and be able to go to the body. And I thought he was going to be able to systematically break down Canelo and beat Canelo. I didn't think he was going to knock Canelo out, but I thought he was going to systematically break down Canelo and beat him in a unanimous decision. But that wasn't the case. Canelo fought a beautiful fight, and he dominated, especially in the first half of that fight. Second half, Cotto rallied. I thought the fight was a draw, but Canelo got the decision. I can't really argue with it because I thought it was a draw. But if you had to give it to a fighter, I thought I thought Canelo would be the one you give it to, because I thought he was had more dominant moments in that fight. But it's a round by round fight that you score, and I scored 6-6. But anyway, man, that was the fight. I thought Canelo graduated from a B-level fighter to A-level fighter. So it was a good performance by Canelo. He didn't. One thing you got to understand that with him at 160 pounds, he doesn't have one punch knockout power, but he throws. He's a very accurate puncher, and his punches are very eye-catching punches. The judges can actually see when he throw punches. When he land on a guy, it's a different type of sound. It's a thudding sound. It's like when you a drummer hitting his drum. You can hear boom, boom. It's something that everybody can hear. He's a very accurate, precise thunderous puncher. He's not a one-punch knockout puncher, but his punches are very easy to diagnose as far as judges when they're watching him fight. That's why he's able to probably get a lot of close decisions, man, because his punches are very eye-catching. Let me put it like that. So it was so that was the case tonight, man. He landed the harder shots, the cleaner shots, the more accurate shots. His defense was better than Danny. Danny had his moments, especially in the second half of the fight. He was able to go to the body. He was able to land some punches, land some combinations, and he caught, like I said, he actually, if any fighter was actually hurting this fight, it was probably Canelo when Danny caught him with that left hook in the second half of the fight. But overall, Canelo was just a better boxer, better on defense, landed the harder shots, controlled the tempo of the fight, was able to back up Danny more than Danny backed up him, and he was just able to show that he's just a more complete offensive fighter and a more complete defensive fighter than Danny Jacobs. Great win for Canelo Alvarez. As far as what the future holds for Canelo, after the fight, he did an interview and they asked him about becoming undisputed with there's one champion out there that he has to beat to become undisputed at 160 pounds. And he didn't seem too keen on fighting Andrade. He basically said, hey, I want to fight the best. I want to fight the top names and stuff like that. He didn't say, hey, man, I want to be. It's one title, it's one belt out there that I need to get, and that's Demetrius Andrade, Boo Boo Andrade. I need to fight him and beat him and become king at 160 pounds. He didn't say that. He just said he was looking for the big name. And if that's the case, the biggest name in the middleweight division outside of Canelo Alvarez is Triple G. So folks, get ready to probably see Canelo versus Triple G 3. They did a lot of smoke and mirrors before this fight. Canelo said, hey, Triple G need to get a belt before I give him another crack at my belts. De La Hoya doubled down on what Canelo said, and he said it a couple of days later, hey, Triple G needs to get a belt before Canelo will fight him and give him a rematch. But now, after he defeats Jacobs, he basically saying, I'm looking for the names. And the announcer on the zone asked him, hey, what about Triple G? What about fighting Triple G? He says he's ready. He said, I'm basically ready for Triple G. I'm ready for all the big names. I'm ready for all the big fights. So he basically said the big names and the big fights, it's only one big name. It's only one big fight at 160 pound middleweight division, and that's Triple G. So look to see that fight happening in September, Mexican Independence Day. And that's going to be a third encounter, man. But I don't see too much difference between the first two fights. I think it's going to be a very close fight. And I think Canelo's going to beat him on decision again, man. He's going to beat him on decision, man. I don't think Triple G has the power to hurt Canelo because he didn't drop him in the first two fights. And, I know Triple G has changed trainers. He's got Jonathan Banks. That's Vladimir Klitschko former trainer. And he's got him in his corner. But the guy's Triple G is 37 years old. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can't a leopard can't change the spots. Whatever the connotations you want to put into that, man. He is what he is. He's a pressure fighter. He likes to go to the body. He likes to systematically break you down with mental pressure and physical pressure, and eventually get you out of there. But a fighter like Canelo is very relaxed and very confident fighter. He will, got a pressure fighter coming forward with him. He will, that's like rolling out the red carpet for a counter puncher. And Canelo is able to, with the pressure, especially in the first fight, he was able to counter him and and land the uppercut, land the right hand, land his combination. And he was able to do real well before he tired out in the second half of the fight. And then Triple G was able to take over in the second half of that fight. But you notice in the rematch, Canelo was more, came forward more as a pressure fighter because Canelo and his trainer Albert Sanchez was talking about Mexican style, and he embarrassed the Mexican hearers and all his Mexican fans and this and that, and then in the third, and Canelo came out in the rematch and came forward like a Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., and put a lot of pressure on Canelo, and was able to beat Canelo in the rematch on a decision. Even though I had that fight a draw, I thought Canelo, if you had to give a winner in that fight, I thought Canelo would have been the guy you gave that fight to. He fought a very impressive fight as he landed the harder punches in that fight. So I think you're probably gonna see some of the same thing in a rematch. He's gonna back Triple G up, because Triple G actually can fight off the back foot because he's got a good jab and he can land his combination punches too. But you know, his defense is not good enough where he can win a fight against Canelo going away if it do go 12 rounds. He don't have enough power to knock Canelo out, and his defense is not good enough for him to outpoint Canelo. He's going to be getting caught with shots because Canelo got fast hands. His defense is not good. He's going to land his punches on Canelo too because he's a good offensive fighter too. But it's going to be the same thing happening in the first two fights. He's not going to get the decision because Canelo's going to be landing the hardest shots. Canelo is the A side. Canelo is the draw. Canelo is the money man. Triple G is 37 years old. He's on his way out, and he's not going to be able to win the fight decisively enough to get a decision with the judges. So I see that fight playing out as far as the judging the same way the first fight and the second fight played out. If you was asking me who I think Canelo should fight next, I think it should be Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. I think he's actually the only guy that has a chance to beat Canelo. I think he's the only guy that has a chance to beat Canelo. You know, he's a very slick fighter. Unlike Jacobs, he has a very good jab. He's a switch hitter too. He can go from southpaw to orthodox. Very slick fighter. He's got a aggressiveness to him that Jacobs don't have. Jacobs don't have enough of. He's a very skilled fighter. He uses his height well. He can get in the trenches and get dirty, which as far as Canelo want to go inside and make it more of a phone booth fight. You know that he can do that with Canelo too. He's a complete fighter, man. Only thing about Andrade is he hasn't been active enough. The last 2 or 3 years he hasn't had that many fights because he's had management problems, promoters problems. But since he's been with the Zone, they've been trying to make him a little bit more active. So I think he's the guy that if he fought Triple G and he can get back to what he was before he was having all these problems and been inactive. Since he come back from since he's been on the Zone, he hasn't been the same fighter he was before he had the inactivity that he had. So, but if he can get back to what he was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I think that's truly is a 50-50 fight, and he has the best chance of beating Canelo. You know, a lot of people will probably want to see Canelo and Jamal Charlo fight. Jamal Charlo is a very good fighter, but he's basic. He got a good jab, good power, but it's nothing special about him. To me, he's like Danny Jacobs. He's like Danny Jacobs 2.0. He's just a little bit more aggressive than Danny Jacobs, and he's got probably more power than Danny Jacobs. But he's kind of basic like Danny too, man. And with Canelo head movement and his versatility and his defense, making a miss, I think he probably would outpoint Charlo. I will give Charlo a better chance of getting a knockout, though. He's got that power where if he catches Canelo, he can knock Canelo out. Canelo's got a good chin, but if he can catch Canelo with a punch that he doesn't see, he can knock Canelo out. And even if Canelo is, like I said, let me put it like this. Any fighter catch any fighter with a punch they don't see, they can knock him out. But I think Jamal Charlo actually got the power to hurt Canelo and back Canelo up and maybe stop Canelo. I don't think, and he's got the aggressive in the mindset to do it. I think Jacobs has the power to hurt Canelo too, but he just didn't have the mindset to do it, man. I think he started trying to be aggressive and throwing hard punches when he knew he was well behind in the fight. I don't think that'll be the case with Charlo. I think Charlo will start the fight off from round 1 and however long it goes to round 12, he's gonna be in a seek and destroy mindset, going for the knockout. That's gonna be the difference. But I just think Canelo is an overall better boxer, a better technical boxer, got more versatility to his game, got more ways he can get his offense off than Jamal Charlo, and I think his defense is better. So I think he actually would beat Jamal Charlo. So we'll see what happens, man. But bottom line is, get ready for Canelo Triple G3 in September, man. You know, a lot of people probably may be sick and tired of that fight, just like watching a movie part 3 of a movie, man. You know, let's get to the point where it's like, okay, let me go see another movie, man. I done seen this movie. I know how this movie is gonna, for the most part, gonna play out, and I know what storyline gonna be of this fight, man. That's basically what this fight is gonna represent. But it is what it is, man. But it is what it is, man. You know, we'll see how it play out, man, in the negotiation, man. But hopefully, after if we do get Canelo and Triple G next, if Canelo wins that fight, hopefully he'll want to unify with Andrade and don't move up to 168 fight, maybe a Callum Smith or somebody like that, a guy that's more tailor made for his fighting style than Demetrius Andrade. But we'll see what happens, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It's late night, Saturday night, man, and I'm gonna get ready to lay it down, get some sleep, man. Get some sleep. I just want to give you guys my post-fight analysis of the fight of Canelo versus Danny Jacobs, and that's what I did for you guys, man. For all my YouTubers and YouTubettes, man, y'all get y'all a good night's sleep, man, and I'll talk to y'all in the next YouTube video. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.